Hi students, you have already learned about the force of friction. Now we will learn more about this force of friction, which we experience in many of our activities in daily life. Roll a ball on the ground. Does it come to rest after some time? Yes. This shows that some force must be acting on the ball which makes the ball slow down. This force is called force of friction. That is, if an object moves on a surface, the surface applies a force on the object in the direction opposite to its direction of motion. This force is called friction. What else can the force of friction do? Let us see in the following activity. Gently push a book on a table. You observe that it stops after moving for some distance. Repeat this activity pushing the book from the opposite direction. Does the book stop this time too? Yes. So, we can say that a force must be acting on the book opposing its motion. This force is called force of friction. Which means if you apply the force along the left, friction acts along the right. And if you apply the force along the right, the friction acts along the left direction. So, the force of friction always opposes the applied force. In the above activity, the force of friction acts between the surface of the book and the surface of the table. Next, we are going to discuss what are the factors affecting friction. Let us find out by doing activities. Tie a strong string around the brick and attach the other end of the brick to a spring balance. Pull the brick by a spring balance. You need to apply some force. Note down the reading on the spring balance when the brick just begins to move. It gives you a measure of the force of friction between the surface of the brick and the floor. Now, wrap a piece of polythene around the brick and repeat the activity. In this activity, we can see that brick now require lesser force to move. That is, when we comparing the readings of the spring balance in the above two cases, we can see that reading is lowest in the case of polythene wrapped around the brick. Next, we repeat this activity by wrapping a piece of jute bag around the brick. We can observe the highest reading in the case of jute bag. That means the brick now require more force to move. Which means jute cloth provide higher friction than polythene as well as wood. So, force of friction depends on the nature of the surfaces in contact. That is, frictional force is greater on rough surfaces and frictional force is less on smooth surfaces. That's why we slip when we step on a banana peel, and it is difficult to walk on a smooth and wet floor because it's a smooth surface and friction is less there. Let us move to the next activity. Make an inclined plane on a smooth floor or on a table. You may use a wooden board supported by bricks or books. Put a mark with a pen at any point A on the inclined plane. Now let a pencil cell move down from this point. We can see that the pencil cell reaches at a particular point and then stops. Now down the distance. Now spread a piece of cloth over the table. Make sure that there are no wrinkles in the cloth. Try the activity again. You will observe that the distance covered by the cell is lesser in the second case. In second situation, the surface is rough, so the force of friction was more. From these activities, we can conclude force of friction depends on the nature of the surfaces in contact. Next depending factor of friction is weight of the body. Next, we are going to discuss what causes friction. We know that friction is a contact force. It acts when one surface moves or tries to move over another surface. Friction is a result of irregularities in the surfaces of bodies in contact. Even those surfaces which appear very smooth have a large number of minute irregularities on them. Irregularities on the two surfaces lock into one another. When we attempt to move any surface, we have to apply a force to overcome the interlocking between the two surfaces. On rough surfaces, there are large number of irregularities. So, the force of friction is greater if a rough surface is involved. So, friction is caused by the irregularities on the two surfaces in contact. Hope you understood. Thank you.